So
and Jonathan and I, we'd worked so hard to kind of get through what we had gotten through that we're just like, we can't go back, we can't go backwards. And also our environmental factor in terms of the people believing in us, we didn't have many supporters. On the contrary, we had people kind of doubting us and saying, it was all, it was just all for an ego play, and it wasn't true, because no one really understood. And Jonathan and I, we stayed very much in stealth mode for a very long time. We didn't look for publicity, we didn't look for kind of recognition until we were sure about what it is that we do, who we are, who we're becoming. And then that's when we kind of started to appear. And that's only actually about a year ago. We've been doing this for 6 years now. So, I mean, my parents, for at least 2 years ago, were telling their neighbors that I was unemployed, because they would rather do that and explain that than explain what I did, because they weren't sure of it. And they were like, oh, is it going to work? Is it not going to work? And in the end, we only had ourselves to kind of say, well, you know what, I'm going to make this happen for myself.
It's true. You have to be your biggest cheerleader sometimes, because as much as your family and friends, they may love you, they probably don't get it. You are always going to have those people out there that are going to doubt you. And some of the best advice I've ever gotten is, sort of keep quiet about what you're doing until you do it. And I remember I saw something somewhere where it's like, there's 3 things that you don't tell people about: your love life, your income, and what your next move is.
Exactly. But
sometimes you have to do that, because you need to create the environment and the mindset for yourself where you are going to succeed and where it is positive. And it's not saying that you're not realistic or that you're not going to listen and heed good advice, but you need to also make sure that you're in the mindset where you're focused, you're moving forward, you're not getting stuck in negative thought, because that is going to happen when you're walking that walk of growing your business and being out there and trying to make it happen off of your own back.
I mean, we were trying to at one point get through an acquisition phase, like actually to be like, okay, you know what, before we had this epiphany of saying, let's do this, we were just like, okay, let's sell the technology that we have. Let's just sell it. Let's get rid of it. Let's start over. Let's do something else. And I remember we were very kind of confident that it was going to happen. And obviously we had interest, but I feel like it was kind of, people were just milking it in order to get sort of like free, like kind of not free, but like more historical modeling from it, which is also what we realized, that we actually have something. But people, after that didn't happen, people were like, oh, so when's the acquisition? When's this? When's that? And it's like, what does it matter to you? Like, I can believe in me, if I'm going to get somewhere, follow my journey. Don't judge me for the steps that I take in order to get to the end goal.
Yes, it's so true, because, you really have to have your armor on when you're out there and you're what I call just doing battle every day, because people are gonna come for you. Like, what about this? Remember when you were having that? What's happening there? Yep, still going on. And you just have to keep going, because people who you thought were there for you and you thought you could tell people to, probably best to keep it to yourself and your circle and your business colleagues, because people aren't going to get it, or they're not even going to want to get it.
Exactly. I mean, jealousy does crazy things to people, right? And also I know a lot of people that if they look at me from back before, whether it was in high school or even in university, and they look at me now, and I can imagine that okay, I probably look the same. That's what I like to think, but I probably look the same. But I'm pretty sure they would never have thought this. They would never have thought that I would become, a businesswoman.
Yeah.
My own businesswoman, like I'm my own boss. And I love that. Like I even didn't even think about it like so life's full of surprises.
You know what it is? I always say, like, you need to be so strong in your identity and who you are, because people are gonna try and challenge you or say, are you sure about that? Or like, oh, really? And think it's like, yep, that's me. Yep, that's what I do. Yep.
And
And
family's the
you
worst
know
though.
it. And you gotta have that confidence, and you gotta walk in there like, yep, I am actually the co-founder of this. And know that everything and all the adversity and everything that you've been through and the challenges, nobody can tell you any different, that you've earned your position and you've earned your success. So absolutely, I can
Yeah.
definitely identify with that.
Exactly. So that's the road that I'm kind of on. So once we got through that phase, because that was obviously